Hello there, gardeners. Hope you all are doing great and welcome to Nandanavanam. For the folks in the US, fall is here at its peak and some of the most beautiful colors are here too. What it also brings with it is the end of growing season, which spring has started. Too much water, too little sunlight, and low temperatures, any of these just by themselves are not good for the plant growth. For Seattleites, on the other hand, once the second half of October kicks in, all of these together are the norm of life. So at this point, there is very limited opportunity for the plants to thrive. So do salvage what you have left on the plants before it gets too cold and then start to prep for the next season. If you're here for the first time, welcome to my channel. My name is Pawan and I love to garden. As I garden, I make these episodes to help out aspiring gardeners take advantage of my experiences. Please do subscribe to my channel to learn great gardening tips, watch interesting harvest videos, and yum recipes with homegrown food. Let's get started. Today's episode is about how do you prep for that next season. From my earlier episodes, a few of you have asked me about how to be more productive as a gardener in the colder months of the year and how to make your own compost. In this episode, I shall cover what I do on both these fronts. In my opinion, mid to late October, all the way till mid Feb, these 4 months are the time when you should allow the soil to rejuvenate and allow Mother Nature to do her thing and come back all ready for the next growing season. So, these 4 months are preparation time. In India, at least in my grandparents' farm, it was mid to late March until mid late June. These were the 4 months which were preparation time, and for diagonally opposite reasons of Seattle. It was too little water, too much heat, and too much sunlight. That were the reasons back in India. And no matter what were the conditions, end result is still the same. The plants won't thrive in either of these extreme conditions. Does it mean for 4 of the 12 months of the year you can't really do anything in your garden? Are there really no exceptions? Yes, there are always exceptions. Let me think about it. The closest metaphor I could come up with to describe this situation is an ice cream sandwich. Think of these 4 months as split between three portions: October 15th to November 15th, November 15th to Jan 15th, Jan 15th to Feb 15th. Within these three portions, the outer shells make up 2 months. There are possible ways to grow some specific plants like spinach and flowers that bloom in fall or flowers that bloom in early spring. These are some of them which you could grow. While the core winter, this is the part where it is almost not possible to grow anything outdoor, that is. You can always make arrangements for indoor plants. That's for us to discuss in a different episode. Now, that has been my experience, but I'm always willing to learn. If any of you, especially those in Seattle, were successful in growing plants outdoor in core winter months, please share your experience in the comment section so we all could learn from your experience and benefit from it. Over the last 5 to 6 decades, there are major changes that have happened and continue to happen on this planet we call home. However, nothing had so much profound impact on the planet as urbanization. The total urban population of the world is now north of 60% and is estimated to be 75% or more by 2050. I am a part of that statistic, inhibiting the urban landscape of this planet. So I got to think, how do I make this sustainable for myself, my household, my city, and the planet at large? What do I do? Number one is to understand what are the 17 sustainable development goals defined by the United Nations for this planet. Number two, figure out what are the steps I could take to do my part. They could be very small steps, but they matter. While there are many steps I could take to do my part, I've chosen to prioritize my health and well being, the goal number three. Urban gardening is how I choose to achieve it, and I've kicked it off a few years ago, and this shall also contribute towards goal number two, zero hunger. When I produce enough in my garden, I plan to contribute the excess produce to local food bank. And goal number 11, sustainable cities and communities. Over a period of time, I shall be able to source a reasonable portion of my food from my own garden, making my household self reliant and resilient to any supply chain issues and promote sustainability of my community. Goal number 12, I've pledged not to use any synthetic pesticide or fertilizer in my garden to contribute towards responsible consumption and production. Goal number 13, by both reducing my household's carbon footprint and by increasing the green cover, I would contribute with tangible climate action. And finally, goal number 15, life on land. By choosing not to use synthetic pesticides and synthetic fertilizers and by composting, I am prioritizing the well being of bees, birds, earthworms, and a delicate ecosystem of living beings around them. I encourage you all to understand these goals and do your part by taking small steps. It could be reusing your coffee mugs, spoons, shopping bags, whatever it is that makes it easy for you to adopt a habit. Understanding why I am composting is very important. That's what keeps me intentional with my day to day life choices throughout the year. So, while I'm kicking off this specific step of composting in fall, I've literally been composting year round or prepping to compost. Why would I say that? You'll see that next. So, before this happens, let's get to work. The most important ingredient you need is intention. And then time comes as the close second. If you can have intention and give enough time, Mother Nature will do the rest. Fall, as the name suggests, shall give you enough leaves within your garden and community, so it's easy to source these leaves to compost. In my garden, I use up any foliage from the plants towards the end of the growing season. What is important when I do that is to cut them up into small pieces so it is easier and faster to decompose them into compost. Part of your fall job is to rake the leaves. So rake them, let them sit in a pile, and let the rain do its thing. And after about a week or so, the leaves have started to decompose. That is the perfect state. Pick those wet leaves, add them to your compost pile. For those of you who don't get a lot of rain this time of the year, after you rake the leaf and let them sit in a pile, sprinkle water and make sure the pile is wet so it starts the decomposing process. If possible, I highly recommend you to add a few earthworms to each of your compost pit. They'll make the composting process so much faster and better. What these wiggly worms do is they go back and hibernate during the winter months. They also lay eggs. And these creatures, when they come back, they are hungry and they are going to start partying on all these organic material that we are leaving in here. And by the time you're ready in the spring and you want to start planting, all your plants can have a lot of organic rich compost ready for them to consume nutrients, grow, and produce a lot. Collect the material throughout the year and be ready to compost during the fall. That is exactly how you'll be productive as a gardener during the winter month. I highly encourage you all to follow the video and compost in your own garden and reduce the carbon footprint of your household. Thanks you all for being with me today. Hope this episode was informative and helpful. If you like the video, please smash that thumbs up button. By doing it, YouTube will recommend my video to more viewers. That's an easy way for you all to show your appreciation towards the channel and motivate me to continue posting these episodes. Happy gardening. This is Pawan signing off until the next episode. You all have fun growing and spend time in your garden.